I'm Alexi and I'm your instructor. So we will see together how to create a new application from scratch with Angular. So I will do all the steps, so don't worry, we will go step by step. The first thing that you must do is to install Node.js. So after, when you go to the website and you download for the correct version for your operating system, it will be okay. On my computer, it's already installed. So we can check the version just like here. So this is the version from Node.js that I have. And also for NPM, so you can see the version that I'm using also. This is important to have these two tools installed, because after with Angular CLI we need also that already installed. So next we will install Angular CLI, but it's already installed on my machine, but I will show you the command here. So you can use this command npm e. You don't need to write all the command, and after you can put -g, and after add Angular -CLI. So you can copy and paste that in the command and you can execute. For me it's already installed. So we can see the version that I'm using. So we can go here for Angular CLI and we can go for the help. So this is important, so you can see all the commands that you can use and also the version. So don't try to use a help like in the instruction of the documentation, because it's a change, so it will give you an error. But now we will go for this thing, for the version that I'm using for Angular CLI. So as you can see, I'm using the version 14, and also you can see the npm that I'm using also. Okay, let's go. We can go to create a new application. So what I must do, I use the command prompt and I have nothing, so I will create a new project. So how we can do that? We can use the command Angular CLI. So it will be ng-new. Okay, and after you can give the name of the application. It will be a test project here, just for the name, and you can give also a prefix to the application. This is recommended because by default it's app. Okay, how can I use a prefix? So I go to the documentation, I go for new, and I can search for the prefix. As you can see, you can give a prefix just like here. So this is really important. So you can put a prefix and we will put test here for the prefix. Okay, this is really good. So we can start. We will put a tr for training because maybe it's better. And we can start to run the application here. It will create the application for you. It will give you some question, so you must answer to this question. The first question will be for the routing, so we accept that because it's to create a default routing. And we can use the SCSS by default, but we will use SCSS because it's better. It uses the inherit, also the object-oriented object, so you can use a class from another class, you can create variable. This is really powerful. So you avoid to duplicate code. Also, you can manage really good your code for the styling. So this is really, really good. So we use that. After, it will generate the application automatically for you. It can take time, so I will speed up the video. So I go back just after. Thank you. Okay, it's just finished. So this is good. We are in the directory, so I recommend that you use some tips here. So if you are in the command prompt, you just type the first letter with tab. You can have the rest of the name for the directory. Okay, you must use a really powerful tool. It's a Visual Studio Code. So you can install with this address, and you can download the correct version for your operating system. And after, when it's downloaded, we can come back. The real advantage is you can write code with auto-completion, and this is really good. Also, we will see some package that we can install for this nice IDE, so I recommend really that you use that. But feel free to use another IDE also, but this one is really good. Okay, it's already installed on my machine, so I can run this with a code dot, but you can also double click, of course, of the shortcut. But this is the way that you can do, and I like this way because it's running the application in the current directory here. Okay, let's go, it starts. Okay, it's running the IDE. So this is the first time. So as you can see, you have the project on the left. You have some option on the left also. I have already installed a lot of extension. So we will see one of them that you can use. You can use the Angular 10 snippets. Also the Angular Essential from John Papa. This is a really famous guy for Angular. This is a really nice tutorial that you can follow from him also. And Angular Language Service, also Angular Material, and also Angular Material 10 for the snippets. So this is a recommend snippets that I'm using. The advantage is you're writing the code, and after it auto-completes for you, it will check. Also for Bootstrap, it's the same. So this is really nice extension that you can install. Okay, let's go to the project. We go here, and we will create our first module. So we go to the terminal, and we will start that now for create the new module. Just be sure to be in the correct emplacement for to create the module, because if you are not in the correct emplacement, it will give you an error from Angular. Here we are in the correct emplacement because I see the SRC here. So the first element for your journey, it will be the module. So you generate a new module with ngg, and after G is for generate, don't need to write generate, and M for module, so don't need to write that, you can write directly this. And it will be my first module, so I will create that. And you can be sure this is good, correctly created if you put the parameter dry run to see if it's created at a good place. We run that, and it's created at a good place, so I will accept that. I just remove that just after. Okay, the module is created. So we can check in the application. We have the SSC, we have the application by default here, the app module, and we have my first module here. So this is really good. Now we will create a first component. So how I create that? With ngg, always for generate, and after I will put that in the module that I have just created, and I will put welcome just to see that it's the welcome component. So we will use also dry run to be sure that it's the correct place to create. Okay, this is really good to use that because you must use the C for component before. Okay, we will create a first component. So how I can write the first component? I write ngg for generate and C for component, and after we will put that in the first module that we have created, and we'll put welcome just to be sure. I dry run to be to see if every file is correctly created. Okay, we can see all the file that it will create. We accept that because it's really good. Okay, and after it will create definitely that. Okay, the components are created, as you can see, and the module is updated. So you can see you have the declaration for the welcome component. Okay, we will run the application to see what we have. So how you run the application? You can run first npm-e to install some package, just to be sure, but it will be executed when you create a new application. So this is not needed. I recommend that you use this command if you are working with other people or by yourself if you have installed a new package. So it will build and it will do the externalization in the node modules for this new package. Here there is nothing new. We will start the application with npm start. We will see in the configuration after, this is just a shortcut to use ngserve, but I will show you that later. Okay, we can start the application, but it can take time. So I will join you just when it's just a finish. As you can see, it's generate the application bundles. So this is sometimes a long process, but after it will run the server automatically for you. Okay, it's just finished, so this is good. As you can see, the port is 4200. This is the default port. We will use that to see the application. So now we can run the application. How I do that? I just write the port with localhost before. And this is your first application. Yeah, this is really good. But we will want to use the welcome that we have right. Okay, so I will just change a little bit the component. So I will say hello people here. This is really nice. And we save that. Now we are in the first module. We need to externalize the component to be accessible from the external. So what I will do just an export of the component. And after we go to the app module, and we can import this module. It will be my first module here. Okay, just to be clear, I have imported the module, I have exported the component to be accessible by the app component. But in the reality, if you have multiple components, for example for multiple module, you will create a share module. So it will avoid to duplicate your component 2 or 3 times, and it's not really good practice. So I recommend to be really organized in your application. Give a good name for each module, and after if you see something in common in all this module, you can put in the IHB in the shared module. So this is really important. So be organized. So if you have something that it will be shared by multiple modules, you will put in a shared module. So don't try to duplicate the component many times. This is not really efficient. And also really be good organized, give a good name for the module. This is really good, and for the component, of course. As I can recall, if we see the welcome, we have the prefix that we have put for the creation of the new application. So now I go to the app component. I will remove the default code that it put for the app component, and we will use now the TR and the welcome. So this is the first component that we have created. We save everything, and after we can see what we have in the application. So to keep the training really simple, we don't see the routing now. It will be for another tutorial. So we go here and we see hello people. This is really good. As you can see, you don't need to restart the application. It's automatically done, because this is the advantage of Angular. And don't forget, Angular is one single page. So this is really an important concept. So it will be every component on the same page. So this is really good. We will go a little bit further here. So as you can see, you have the assets, so you can put the resource for the images here. We have the 5 icon you can put for the icon for your website, of course. You have the polyfill, this is for old applications, so you can give the compatibility with all application. Also, we have the Angular JSON. This is a really a good scripting file. You can put the assets. It's what I've told you, where is some images. But if you have images in another directory of other files, external files, you can put also here to be accessible when you build. And also the styles, so you can put some styles sheet. And also if you install like a Bootstrap external component, you can define your style here. So this is really important. And if you have the script also, you can put external library, like for example jQuery of other libraries that you can use here, and it's needed. And also we have the package JSON. So when you install a new tool inside, for example, Bootstrap of other library, Angular material, for example, you will see the package JSON will be updated when you install this package. Be careful for the version. This is really important. So this is something really to know. So when you see this sign, it means that it's upper, that version, so that it can be higher. And if it's like this, it will be almost like this version. And if you don't put anything, just the version, it will be exactly the same version. So this is really important if you want some compatibility. Yeah, so always be testing your application, because if you upgrade, for example, the plugins, and after there is new refactoring to do, and it can be impact also your project. So this is really important. Okay, we have seen a lot of things for this training, but you have seen the basic commands. So this is really important. I will give you the URL to go for this Angular CLI commands. So this is important. With ng-new, we can create a new application, and with ng-generate, you can use some command to generate, like you have seen, the components, but also you can use for pipe, for many things, also for a module, for class. So we will not cover all the topics, but this is really important. It creates for you like a border template, a template already prepared for you. Okay, I will give you the links. I hope it was really interesting topics for you, and I see you for next tutorial. Thank you to follow me. Bye.